All right, so we just got back from watching the sequel to this wonderful movie.
Blade Runner 2048.
Okay, yes. The sequel is called Blade Runner 2049. Wait. God damn, I just got that. But regardless, so we're just going to give you guys a quick review of the actual movie itself. No spoilers here, but we will be talking about spoilers at the ending section of this video. So, quick review. No spoilers. Let's go.
We will warn you.
Yes, we will warn you before it starts. But yeah, this movie is just... Let's just start with the visuals. Visually, this movie is goddamn beautiful. Roger Deakins, as you may have heard from other, people's lists, YouTube videos.
All that aside, he is considered the best cinematographer, some say, of all time. He definitely competes for it. And the visuals in this, I gotta say, they took everything from the first one, and they don't do the sequel thing where they just make it bigger just for the sake of making it bigger. It feels like almost an upgrade. It's just, I don't even know how to describe it. It's not necessarily bigger, it's just the next step.
And it's just, every single shot is just like a painting. Just meticulous. Every character just shines because of it. Every freaking setting just shines because of the damn cinematography. This is a beautiful movie. And a lot of the time you're just going to be staring because, let's go jump to pacing. Pacing-wise, this movie is very, very slow. But not in the slow where it's dragging. This movie's, 2 hours and 49 minutes? I'll put the actual time down here. But it breezed by.
Yeah, no, it's not like, when he says slow, he does not mean like The Constant Gardener or something. Yeah. It takes its time, but you are interested.
The tension just builds and builds and builds.
Which I guess kind of gets to the plot. It's the fact, it's slow in the best way possible. You slowly get pieces of information, and just when you think oh, is that going to just float away? It's going to come back.
Every single scene makes sense of the lore of everything. No scene is wasted. No moment of your time is wasted. Everything matters. And thematically and story-wise, this is possibly the only way they could have written a sequel to this movie.
Yeah.
It's like it encapsulates all the actual themes of the original, but it also adds on to them, but also it takes some stuff back, but at the same time it pushes the actual envelope forward. And again, not going to spoil a thing, but any fan of the original will be just pleasantly surprised.
And I gotta say, to anybody asking, oh, should I see the original? Abso-fucking-lutely.
It's mandated. I mean, this is like how you would say, Godfather Part 2? Yeah. This is definitely a Part 2. You need to see Part 1 to understand Part 2. Ooh. Yes, you can go in as blind as you want, not watching the first one, but...
You'll be missing out on a lot.
I mean, the movie is, it's its own thing.
Oh, yeah, it's solid. But it's, like he said, it's...
definitely need it.
It's the next, like I was saying too, it's the next step, it's the upgrade. It's themes from the previous one are evolving and floating into something new in this one. It becomes something
it's just absolutely just spellbinding. And other things other than another small thing that most people really don't think about, but is honestly just perfect in this movie. One huge thing about film is the sound, and the freaking soundtrack is wonderful. The mixing is fantastic. There's some really loud moments when you're watching this, but it's always accented with silence. It's because every time you hear something, really loud, it's not just there to annoy you, it's there to point at something or give you an inflection of something's gonna happen, something is happening, or it's just constantly just grating on your mind that, you need to feel unnerved or just tensed up right now. You're supposed to be just scared.
And I gotta say, a lot of people were scared when the original, not the original from Blade Runner, but the composer they hired, Johan Johansson, I believe his name is, he left, and they got Hans Zimmer and then another guy whose name we'll put that up here. But what they've done with this, again, it's just, it's everything Ray said, that if you were scared at all, my point here is that they did a fucking phenomenal job. And they make a soundscape that's unto itself. They incorporate bits of this, but
it's just absolutely perfect. And the final thing we want to touch on before we leave you guys with a spoiler-free review is the acting. Ryan Gosling is the only fucking guy that could have ever pulled this off, who could have been toe-to-toe standing in front of the original actor who portrayed, Deckard in the original movie. It's a sequel to a movie that came out so goddamn long ago, and those are some huge shoes to fill. And my God, does Ryan Gosling just step up and just really gives us one of the best performances ever.
Dude, as usual too. It's not just the sort of when you think of acting, it's not just like the line delivery or clever dialogue. It's Ryan Gosling when he's silent, when he's angry. He's just you can see his eyes swelling up with just pure fucking visceral hate. And it's all these things: love, hate, sadness. Like when Ryan Gosling gets quiet, this is where he shines. You can see it all in the face. He does something very opposite very similar to Deckard, which is like you read everything right here.
And of course, that's just the main cast. Now let's move on to the supporting cast, and my God, we have just so many to choose from. Robin Wright, Jared Leto, just give some amazing performances. Especially Jared Leto, who actually went method in this one. He's actually blind in all those scenes. His character is blind, so he decided to put on contacts, and he's 100% blind. So that's, as a man who goes method for, something as crazy as Joker, I'm glad that at least works here. And again, Jared Leto is an amazing actor. Just because he's a fucking Joker does not mean it's bad. But regardless, another person to talk about that I freaking just fell in love with was the character Joy. And I'm not going to spoil anything about her, but played by Ana de Armas, she is just freaking mesmerizing. Like, my God, she made me care so much for her character. Again, I do not want to spoil a thing, but she just knocks it out of the park. Every moment of intimacy that she shares with Ryan Gosling is just really not heartbreaking, but just so lovely and sad, but it just feels like a real actual relationship is like unfolding in front of you.
Another fantastic female performance, it comes from Sylvia Hoeks, Hoeks. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Anyway, she's the other villain, sort of minion, I guess, quote unquote, to Jared Leto. Without spoiling anything, she is fucking fantastic. My favorite type of villain, any movie, is the type of villain you can almost sympathize with. They have a goal, and not to say that you like this girl because she is pure evil, but it's her desires that made me almost go like, wow, I kind of get where you're coming from. And it's also her loyalty to Jared Leto that makes her that much more evil. You can see that she wants nothing more than to please him. She blew me away in this movie. I haven't seen a villain that good in a long time.
Yeah, she was a powerhouse, and I honestly hated her guts.
Yeah.
But yeah, regardless, final thoughts on the whole movie. Stop watching this video and go watch it right now.
Yeah.
That's not, I'm not kidding. Like, this movie, I mean, is just already up there with the greats that came out this freaking year. 2017 has some great freaking films already on the freaking lineup, and this one, I feel like, just topped them all. And it's a sequel that doesn't deserve to even be, shouldn't even seen the light of day.
I've been saying this since we heard about the movie in like 2010. We do not need a Blade Runner sequel. I don't want to see it. We didn't deserve the one we got. It should not be this good.
It's perfect in the sense that if you're a fan of the original, and even if you're not even a fan of the original, just watch that one, get the story under you. This movie will have something for you. It's just amazing. Everything about it is just created meticulously. And for every reason that you should love something, at least film-wise, you're going to fall in love with something here. Whether it be the amazing ambience, the freaking shots, the audio design, and most importantly, the story, the characters, everything is on its A game here. And it is just absolutely beautiful. Yeah, we don't deserve this movie. Not at all. So yeah, that's it. Spoiler-free review is over. Bye. Go watch it now. Not even kidding. We're going to start freaking laying down spoilers, and this is not our fault.
Spoilers 2049.
You will have the movie ruined for you. Stop watching now. I don't even care. At this point...
Look, 3, 2, 1, spoilers happening now.
Okay. At this point, fuck you. Because if you didn't listen, that's it. Okay. One of the huge things I really love about this movie is the fact that it took every single thing that Tyrell said in the first movie and just didn't retcon it. It just worked with it. His quote, human, more human. I'll probably put it right here. I'll probably put a clip of him saying it.
More human than human is our motto.
Not only that, but also the character of Rachel. In the original movie, the character of Rachel is special. In the original theatrical cut, is that she doesn't have an inception date, or she'll die. She won't die ever. Bullshit. This is following the final cut rules, or the director's cut rules, but she's not special. At least the reason she's special is never revealed in the first movie. At least not in the way that we understand it. She can become pregnant. And she becomes pregnant with Deckard's child. Which, by the way, in this goddamn movie, something that I wanted them to answer this question, whether, because I've already made a review, or I've made a video of this, same fan theory of Deckard being a replicant, but no, they don't. They don't tell us a goddamn thing.
I kind of love it.
Yeah, and that's exactly, I hated the fact, like, god damn it, tell me, I want to know. But by the time the movie was done, I was like, I'm glad I don't know. I'm glad I don't know a fucking thing.
It did something that it didn't do something that sequels normally do, which is sort of ruin the sort of the twist or that thing that you kind of have been thinking about your entire life. Instead, it added more questions, and still to this day we don't know, is Deckard a replicant?
Yeah, for example, in the scene when Deckard's talking to Wallace when he's interrogating him, he mentions that, doesn't you find it funny that you fell in love with Rachel immediately? It's almost like you were designed to, and it's like, are you implying that he's a replicant? Or, if you were designed, and it's like, shit, you have to put in the if just to screw up the whole goddamn plan. But at the same time, I'm so happy they don't say a damn word. So
that's what's fucked up about that scene too, to me, like, is that they were implying that, but they're also implying that they've been sort of planning for Deckard, if he was human, the whole time to fall in love with this replicant to see if this experiment would work.
That too. Tyrell would have definitely made him the perfect woman.
Yeah.
In his case.
Which was evil, like, to even suggest that. But I love that Deckard he kind of just, like a badass, he's like, I know what's real. And I don't know, like, for him it was like, it almost didn't matter if it was all planned. Like, he was in love, she was in love, that's all.
Also, just gotta point out in that scene, the CGI Rachel was, out of all the years, the last one that actually blew me away was Michael Douglas and Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And the one in Star Wars kind of were a little iffy. I mean, the one in Tron Legacy was a fucking travesty.
Oh.
But this one was really good. Is that a fucking bat? Yeah, whatever. Regardless, but it's just amazing.
No, I almost was like as she started walking towards Deckard, I was kind of like, I'm kind of not ready, because the CGI is fucking perfect in this movie. I couldn't tell what was fake or real the whole time.
Especially her face when she's like, what? You don't love me anymore? I'm like, fuck, that actually looks like her. They must have had a model who looked kind of like her, and then CGI'd additional and they definitely
stuff.
And they definitely got Sean Young, do some mocap there, because at first I was like, are they gonna have Sean Young in this? And like, no, they are. They're definitely gonna have Sean Young. I mean, her appearance, I'm pretty sure that was her voice too. Like, goddamn, that was her. But fuck. Other than that, some other huge things. Just the whole storyline of whether he's the son or not, because obviously, again, you've already fucking.
No, you're spoiled.
You're spoiled.
You don't have to say that anymore.
But the whole idea that in the beginning it's like, oh yeah, kind of hinting at the fact that Ryan Gosling might be the actual baby that was came out of Rachel, and his father is of course Deckard, and we stay with that for an hour and a half.
Dude, that was a ballsy move,
and it's confirmed. It's like usually with reveals and shit, you gotta wait for like the very end, like before like the actual the climax. No, here it's like building up, and eventually, like, I don't know, 30 minutes in, I'm like, I'm really feeling like this son of a bitch is this son of a bitch. And then they confirm it to an extent, because Ryan Gosling's character still goes, or Kay goes, I don't know whether it's actually real or it's just an implant. And then we go meet the woman who does the memories thing, which, by the way, that freaking prop that she has in her hand, which, by the way, again, I don't give a fuck about spoilers, she's the actual daughter of Deckard. That is just a clear homage and metaphor for just filmmaking. That thing in her hands looks like a goddamn...
It looks like a lens.
It looked like a lens. She's messing around with it just like a lens. Like,
even had the little notches on the sides.
Exactly.
Can you imagine it just saying Zeiss across the top?
Yeah, and also all of her her quotes and stuff, like, oh yeah, like, what, like memories are just imagination. It's like, son of a bitch, exactly. Like, you're creating memories with a lens. You're creating memories, you're creating imagination. All you need is imagination to create these memories. It's movies.
Well, that echoes to Deckard later too. Like I was saying, like the whole thing is like up here is better than it is out there. Like, because that's where emotion comes from. That's what. So like for her and for Deckard, it's like, I don't care if this is a dream, if I'm a robot, if I'm not. Like I feel it, so it doesn't matter. It's real.
And so far, every character death was earned.
Oh,
every single one is just, you feel the impact. Even Robin Wright's character, when she dies, I was just like, damn, dude, she knew that, at least she was under the impression that that Ryan Gosling was the son, or the actual weird hybrid baby, and she still kept her mouth shut, and she just let him go on his way. She even said, I'll give you 48 hours to come back. And it's like, give me 48 hours to go deal with this shit. And it's like, oh no. And also, I liked how she kept herself in the dark, so when Sylvia's character, Love, came by to, you know, offer, it was pretty much like saying, oh yeah, I don't know anything. It's like, okay, you don't know anything, you're dead. I'm like, fuck. And on top of, oh dude,
that was extra evil to me too, because I was like, so you can just kill the police chief? That's how powerful Wallace is, that you can kill the police chief and it'll disappear.
But yeah, the death that got me the most, and I knew she was gonna die the second, Joy, the AI, when she says, oh, I need you to take me with you. I can't take you with me. Just delete me in the actual, you know, database in the actual house and take me with you in that, the small little gadget. I'm trying to remember what the hell it was called.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was a portable version of it.
Portable version of it. So it's like, but if I lose this or I break this, you'll die or you'll be gone forever. And it's like, yeah, just like a real woman.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
And dude, the movie basically outright tells you, like,
she's gonna die. And it's gonna hurt.
And the movie's not trying to be smart or trying to hide it. Like, they're telling you, like, she's gonna die probably. That's gonna come later, and it's almost like she wants it. Like, that's her way of being human, having an individual body.
And not only that, it's also corners back to the freaking theme of, you know, what's real or not. And it's like, she even says at the very end, right before she dies, K or Joe, I love, and it cuts off because she, you know, Love smashes the freaking little tech thing. And later on, you're like, did she actually love him, or was it just a program? Because later on, when she sees him, or he sees the huge hologram, which by the way was practical.
Yeah, was that specific one practical?
You told me those. Practical.
Some of them were practical. They said. I think for sure the Elvis and all that was practical.
Oh yeah, that definitely was practical.
I don't know if that big one was. I think I've heard it was, but I didn't read the article.
I would definitely accept that it was practical and they just superimposed it. Mm-hmm. They just didn't CGI it, so it's like it made it look a little realer. By the way, them going around like the actual, the original LA, you know, because they have all that shit's models.
Yeah.
You could tell it's models.
Dude, it was...
At first I was like, looks kind of fake, but at the same time I'm like, yeah, but I've actually been on top of a building and when you look down, it looks like a fucking, just like a model. And you're like, holy shit. There's no substitute. CGI, you've been doing great. Again, with character models and like facial shit, my god, knock out of the park. But when you need to use a model, you gotta use practical effects. This movie does it perfectly.
Well, and it's like the mixing it, because it's like, if those were models, I don't know for sure, but if they were, it's throwing models in, but then doing that beautiful sort of CGI dust, and that just, it makes it that much more like...
CGI was definitely
the two mix, and it just, they highlight each other.
God damn, like, oh, every single aspect of that was just fantastic. The shots from the beginning to the end were just freaking... Yeah, and the whole scene of them fighting and how Harrison Ford keeps punching him and punching him, I'm like, all right, dude. And also, by the way, this kind of goes back to the whole thing where he could be a freaking replicant or not, because he takes a couple punches from him originally, but then he's also beating the shit out of him. And remember, he's a replicant. The only other fucking thing that was able to cause that much damage to him was Bautista's character in the beginning, when he kept smashing his fucking head in the side of the frick. Which, by the way, when that happened, I was like, oh my god, they're really just gonna say it outright. All right, Ryan Gosling's character is a freaking replicant.
I was almost taken aback.
Like, oh, he's gonna be human.
We didn't say at the beginning of this video because I went in knowing nothing.
Yeah.
But the fact that the movie starts and they're like, hey, he's a replicant. They're not hiding it at all.
I like how the trailer is like, oh, they might, do the same plot as the first one, like, oh, this and that, but they might be more up front. Is he a replicant or not? No, fuck that. In the beginning, it's like, how do you feel about killing your own kind? I'm like, oh. Fuck yes. I mean, I already got that from him getting his head smashed in the fucking wall and not dying. But after that, I was like, that just solidified it, and it just made it hurt even more because he's literally a self-killing robot. Every element of this, just the fucking, when Neander Wallace starts talking about, slavery, dude, that fucking line made me just cringe.
Dude,
like,
that was
uncomfortable.
My throat swelled.
And he was like, oh yeah, slavery's wrong unless you create them. And it's like, what the fuck, man? And
this whole thing about every great nation has been built on the backs of slaves, and then we don't have the stomach for it anymore. You're just like, for a fucking good reason, you
sick son of a bitch. And it really just, by the way, by the end of everything, all the bad guys were taken care of, or as much as much as possible, except for Wallace. So the head is still alive.
And I don't want a sequel. I kind of love that they were just like, sometimes evil still stays around. Like sometimes sometimes you can only win this much, and while the world is still fucking just
because if they killed
sick.
Wallace, it'd be just like, oh yeah, the evil's dead. Like no. The point of the ending is Ryan Gosling gets his ass kicked. He kills Love, and he drops off Deckard to go say hi to his daughter. And originally I was concerned, going, shit, they still have to go into hiding. But you brought up a really good point that obviously I overlooked, was the fact that, no, he's going there to see his daughter one last time. He's not going to tell her that, she's his daughter. And he's just going to go, hi, just wanted to see you. Why? Because in her mind, she had 2 parents who locked her up in there because she had some kind of, deficiency. No. Apparently, I don't know if they actually, maybe it's true or not.
I don't know.
Maybe she might actually have like a disease, but the thing is, I'm pretty sure it's just a facade, pretty much saying, just stay in this bubble, and no one will ever come for you.
Speaking of bubbles, you just made me think too. I love the fact that it's not, hey, Deckard, want to come back for one more mission?
Yeah, it's like, fuck
Deckard
that.
does not want to be there.
No.
This piece of shit shows up at his house, gets these bad guys who finally find him after years of hiding. They take him out, they arrest him. Deckard does not want any of this. I mean, I'm sure he wants to see his daughter and he's miserable in that lone little place, but like, he's not there to fight. It all just kind of happens to him.
Yeah. And again, going back to what we were about the ending, is like, yeah, he's just going there to say goodbye to her, or say hi, just to see her, and he's disappearing. That's the ending we're going to get, and that's the ending we deserve. He just wants to see his daughter, and to keep her safe, he's not going to say a fucking word and just bolt, which is what he did originally.
I hope he gets his dog back.
Oh, that dog didn't. I'm pretty sure that dog didn't die.
No,
although
that dog's not dead.
100% sure that dog is replicant.
Oh, really?
Because the dog is too calm.
Yeah.
Way too calm.
Perfect dog, yeah.
It's a perfect dog. That dog is... And also when he asks, is it real? I don't know. You ask him. It's like, yeah, he doesn't care. That's the point.
Hey,
to him, it doesn't fucking matter.
Can I... This is just coming to me right now. I think something that might prove that Deckard could be a replicant. I was thinking about this in the theater, but it kind of washed away. They break that glass in that radiated, crazy-ass city where no human should be.
They do say it's just fucking in this no man's land, which is why the dog could also live there too, because he's a fucking replicant.
And all the humans have gas masks on, but the Love doesn't have one on, the dog doesn't have one on, Ryan Gosling doesn't fucking need one, and Deckard, he's been living there for a while too.
And they even say it, that's the most irradiated the most radiated area of all of Los Angeles. No one lives there anymore. Nobody. Except for Deckard. And pretty fucking sure that if he was human, he'd be dead, because radiation fucks you up.
Right.
Wow, you just confirmed it.
I think so too.
That's I don't know how you could take that any other way. That's a confirmation.
Did that mean that this just hit me too? That means those fucking bees were replicant bees.
Yeah. And
he's been cultivating. Holy shit.
Yeah, remember, that's also kind of hinted at the whole thing. It's like our owl. Is it synthetic? Of course it is. Is it expensive? Very. And it's like, the whole area must just be rife with just
sort of like synthetic replicant life.
Yeah, synthetic life.
You know what? Actually, I'm a little sad we didn't get a quick owl cameo. Just it flying by.
Also, okay, fine. We're talking about cameos. Edward James Olmos cameo,
dude,
was just. It's so quick. Maybe it's unnecessary, but it gives obviously. I mean, it's actually necessary.
It's not. Yeah.
Ryan Gosling has to go back and retrace the steps, and obviously who was there was Gaff. So definitely seeing him was awesome. I mean, the words he said was obviously, it was like, I'm a wise old man, all that shit. Mm-hmm. But he's there to move the story along. He's not there just to be a fucking cameo. He's there to just actually be a notch in this overall just plot of... That's one thing I really love about this movie. It's a detective story.
Dude, yeah.
First and foremost, it's
yes.
a detective story. Not a Blade Runner sequel, not a cyberpunk movie. It's just like... Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Where, this is the world we live in. We're not going to make a huge deal about it. Which, by the way, I love Firefly, but Firefly was always about, the setting, the world, the Western vibes, which is great. Don't get me wrong. But this one, just first and foremost, detective story. We have a freaking mystery, and we're going to solve it. Does the character have, elements, is he invested in it, like, personally? You betcha. And my God, from start to finish, even from the end, when we finally see Ryan Gosling, powered down, it's perfect, because I don't know, man. It's like a Sam Malone freaking.
I also don't know do you think he died at the end?
Oh, definitely.
Do you think so?
Yeah, because they're like humans. That's why he was able to drown her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He drowned, which is also the weird thing. Is like, how the hell could Deckard live out there? But again, there's certain things that remember, Tyrell wanted to make more human. They're human is our motto. They wanted to make them as human as possible. But in order to have them out in space, actually be able to like lift tons and stuff, they gotta survive certain things. So if you shoot them in the head, which is what one huge thing that Tyrell put in every single replicant was their ability to die. And they needed to die, especially with a 4 years thing, but also a Blade Runner was made specifically to do this, to go chase them down and kill them if they ever went rogue. So, them, getting stabbed repeatedly, getting shot. I mean, hell, they shot the Rachel thing right in front of us. Like, she died instantly.
Yeah.
So,
true.
there's elements in an actual replicant, or like there's certain spots in a replicant, or certain things you can do.
And he did
they
take
can
that
tell.
like piece of shrapnel to the stomach and almost died, except he was saved by those.
Oh no, that was the thing that kept like just adding on to his injuries.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
The shrapnel, getting his
And-
face pushed in the very beginning was like also kind of like he was always like a little. He did walk a lot. He did seem like he was hurt the whole movie.
Yeah.
He was in pain, and that's a really good element. Even though from the beginning it's like, oh yeah, he's a replicant. No, just like Sam Malone, they always have like some disadvantage. He got shot, or like he's had a drinking problem or something. He's just constantly just like slowly lumbering around, just taking everything in slowly. It's just freaking awesome. I fucking love it.
Yeah, yeah.
God damn it. What else did we talk about the spoilers wise?
I kind of feel like we did it justice.
I mean, I don't know about that. That movie, just watching the fucking
us
movies.
talking doesn't do it justice.
No, yeah. I mean, again, I should probably stop reading it. But if you're watching this without watching the fucking movie, God, how dare you? What's wrong with you,
You
man?
just ruined a great movie.
You ruined one of the greatest sequels of our time. And let's just label the best sequels of all time. Fucking Aliens.
Aliens.
Godfather Part 2.
Recently, Trainspotting 2.
Trainspotting 2 was amazing. Holy shit. God damn. So many goddamn sequels.
Blade Runner fucking 2049.
Which is...
Back to the Future 2 is good.
I prefer Back to the Future 2 to an extent. No. What am I talking about? That's not... Wrong series. Sorry. Back to the Future 1 is my favorite. Back to the Future 2 has... It's a great story, great everything.
Great
Only problem
sequel.
is just the whole debilitation of him, being called
yeah,
chicken.
yeah.
That's what kind of ruined it for me, but also it added on the story. Regardless, let's not get off topic here. I'm trying to think of anything else I want to talk about Blade Runner. Other than that, it's just fantastic. We want to hear what you guys think of this movie. Obviously, you've seen the movie already. What do you guys think? What did you love about it? What did you hate about it? If you did not like this movie, I would love to hear your guys' opinions, because that's legitimately what I want to hear about.
No, we want to have full-on comment section, like, discussions with people. Like, there's theories you can bring up, talk about themes. Like, I want to see this.
Fuck, I'm actually down to keep talking about this in the next podcast, which will be on Friday the 13th, episode 13. But that's...
Oh, and I forgot to show you, too. I love this movie so much. I went out, dude. I spent $600 on Deckard's gun. Yeah. Check this out. I just fucking bought this baby the other day. Yeah. Check that out.
Did you...
$600.
Is it...
That's straight from Blade Runner, the first one.
I mean, does it have a...
Oh, check this out. Look, yeah, see? You remember when Deckard does that? Pew, 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 pew.
That's Star-Lord's gun.
The fuck is Star-Lord?
From Guardians of the Galaxy.
Nice.
Never mind. What I did buy, though, obviously you guys did not notice this whole time, the horse. I love the fact that did you notice the electric sheep, or the origami sheep that he puts down?
Yeah.
That's an obvious reference to...
The original story by Philip K. Dick.
Yeah. God damn it.
That's another thing, dude. Not just good sequels, but Philip K. Dick.
Another good reference is that one guy, the shady dude who's like trying to sell him shit. Like, oh, you want the horse? Oh,
yeah.
Dude, that's also a reference to the original story, which originally the main character, Deckard, wanted to buy a real sheep. That's the point of it.
Oh.
Because originally, the family, like, it's supposed to represent, if you buy a real animal, you're like rich. And also it's a good, a good, standard, higher standard of living.
Oh,
if you got something real, you're considered rich.
Oh, that's why the guy's like, oh, this wood, they'd be a rich man. And then what do you want? You want a horse? You want a goat? Like,
it's weird. Like, I don't want, you want some papers? Also, by the way, that character alone, I want to see a small little spin-off of that character.
Oh yeah, that was what we were talking about too. It's
God damn.
just like Mad Max Fury Road. There's all these little things you're like, I want to know that fucking person's story. I want to live there for a few minutes.
It's freaking awesome.
Whether it's the slave kids or that guy that.
Yeah, the Somali actor Barkhad Abdi. I think I'm hoping. But regardless, that character is just so awesome. I fucking loved him. But yeah, regardless, I think that's pretty much it. Again, love to hear your guys' comments. And well, I think we'll just end it here. Movie was fucking perfect.
Yeah.
And again, I might obviously be riding on the high on that. I'm just gonna say this now, and maybe I'll regret it, because again, riding on the high watching the freaking movie just now.
But that's how good it is.
I feel like it might be better than this. And I know, Mason, you disagree with me with there, because we've already had this little Facebook chat. But yeah, I honestly feel like Blade Runner 2049 might be better than the original Blade Runner. Only because it took everything from the original and just made it better and stronger and its own thing. Again, I might be eating my words later. We'll see how I feel in about a couple weeks. But for now, That's how good the movie is.
The fact that it, just like, you know, Terminator 2 or Trainspotting
Terminator 2. Thank you. Terminator 2. That's what I was another freaking sequel.
Like the fact that it brings and Aliens. Like the fact that it brings up the argument like this might be better
than the original.
That's how fucking good this movie is.
Which is the only reason you should ever make a fucking sequel. When you have more to say. Otherwise, just think of something new. Or just be like any other freaking movie. Just, you know, rip off something else. Be like your own little... At least give it your own taste. Whatever. Regardless, the video's getting way too long. That's the video. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you guys later.
I seriously spent $600 on this. So are you paying me or
eBay.
what the fuck?
No, eBay. You need to...
No one's gonna...
Get a claim and just say, you know, look at that. Boom. I broke it. So we're getting a claim. Okay? You broke it. Okay, bye.